Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Narrative Podcast. I'm your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome everybody new that's currently listening to the podcast. Welcome all newcomers. So I hope you guys had a good, positive 4th of July weekend and holiday. Hope you guys grilled and chilled and enjoyed yourselves. Now, I know the significance of the 4th of July in concern with Black people, but you got to try to put a positive spin on everything. So the perspective I've been looking at it for the last couple 4th of Julys is we built this country, you know. Independence, if anybody got the right to celebrate it, it's us. Because, you know, without us fighting in the colonial war, forced to fight in the colonial war, there would never be an America. Because the American forces were getting overrun by the colonial forces. And so they had to enlist our help. And that's how I choose to look at it. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Now, if you were sitting around wearing, you know, the red, white, and blue clothes like the American flag on 4th of July, like, that's a whole different conversation. Like, you were goofy for that one. So, yeah, I think I already welcomed all my narrators. For all the new people, newly listening to the Narrative Podcast right now, if you're just tuning in and never heard me and don't know what I do on my platform, I'm gonna break it down in just a sec. All right, so my show is called The Narrative Podcast, and it's called The Narrative Podcast for a reason. On this platform, I change the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative Black stereotypes. That's my tagline. And the reason why I feel I need to destroy the negative Black stereotypes is because the media keeps on perpetuating and promoting and generating negative Black stereotypes to, sell news essentially. Sell news and to keep the balance of power, or to maintain the balance of power by, weaving this false narrative about Black people and Black culture. So, they do little divisive things. They say in the high crime area of, they're talking about a Black neighborhood, they will say, all these ridiculous stats, Black men are the number one. When it comes to healthcare, Black men and Black women are the number one leading group, assigning little diseases to us. So that's just, that type of propaganda ploy that they use to, maintain a certain image about us. And this, these false narratives and negative Black stereotypes are very profitable for elite in the elite white community. All these billionaires and 3rd and 4th generation billionaires, that's what they really kind of founded their empire off of, slave labor. And it only helps cement their empire by, portraying us in a negative light. So on this platform, what I do is I help portray us in a positive light by sharing, positive stories about Black people and Black culture. I just highlight and showcase everything that we're doing right in the community and in the world, period. Everything we bring to the table. So essentially, what I do is just tell our stories from our perspectives on our own terms and conditions. So changing the narrative by controlling the narrative. Um, my overall takeaway from my platform, what I want other people to do to listen to my platform is, why I call my fan base or my listeners, my narrators, because we all have a duty to do with these handheld devices. We are all content creators. So anything you post online is content. And if we share positive content about Black people and Black culture, you know, that's kind of evening the odds. This is showing us in a positive light. And that's what I want for anybody that listens to my podcast to do. Share an inspirational story, share, something that will showcase a Black person winning, being a good parent, being a captain of industry, being a leader in the community, taking care of their children, taking care of home life, taking pride in themselves. So, the general perception of Black people is like we don't care about each other, we don't care about our community, and we're basically just a drain on the resources. We don't add any value to the human experience. And that's how they paint us out to be. And that's why and that's why we have these unjust laws here in America and abroad, because they feel, we're inferior, we don't deserve a fair shot, and the playing field's not level. But that's essentially what this podcast is about. Today is a live broadcast day, and on my live broadcast days, I never know what day I'm going to go live. But when I do go live, I share positive articles that I come across and then deliver commentary on anything that might be happening in, the world, in the Black community, or in the world, period. And I deliver it from the Black perspective. What I don't do is gossip. I don't drag people. If I bring up a famous person's name or a celebrity's name, that's only to, use as an example to cement my points, my overall underlying theme for my show, the narrative, the perception of how Black people are being portrayed. If I might use somebody just as a frame of reference, just to accentuate the point that I'm making. So it's never to defecate on nobody or kick dirt on somebody's name. It's just, to put things in perspective. So I don't do gossip. I don't do tea. I don't try to promote Black people talking bad about each other. It's all empowerment over here. It's all positivity. But I do keep it real though. If one of us is doing something foul that makes all of us look bad, I will call it out on my platform. So I do call out that type of behavior. But other than that, it's all positivity. I'm going to jump into this article just in a sec. Little parched. Give me some water. All right. And then after I share the articles, I'm going to go into my normal format for the brand new people that may be listening. and then I'm gonna dive into my commentary, and it should be super short today. But before I do all that, I got an announcement to make, got some good news. All right, so I just finished a writing project over the weekend. I came across this site for hobbyists that like to write poetry. They recently added a feature that allows you to convert your posts into a book. So, I wrote about 30 poems, just converted into a book, and I'm waiting up on my physical copy. But while the physical copy is about to be delivered to me, I'm going to go to another platform and do the convert that into the work that I got posted over there into an ebook. And why don't I just do the ebook on that platform? Because they don't have that service. They only got just, you post it, turn all your work into a physical copy of a physical book. That's what the service that platform got. So I know it's other platforms out there to do all of it all in one, but, I feel I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to, more, I got to be economically conscious about it. So I'm super excited. I'm now a published author, and I'll be able to unveil my brand new book. I've already completed the manuscript for my second one, which is going to be 50 poems. Got my cover and everything done. So, I'll be doing that. I'll be supplying you guys with the link in the bio about the book pretty soon, about where to go get it, how to get it, and all that good stuff. But it has manifested into reality. I had it in my mind. I was thinking about it. I've been thinking about writing a book of poetry for the longest, and now I've done it, and I will be sharing it with the world. 2 books, actually. So like when I convert the first one, the 30 pager into a ebook, then same deal for the other book. But of course, I'm gonna have to have them like edit it and just probably mull over it to see for grammatical errors, see if they caught something that I missed. But for the most part, it is done, and I should be sharing that with you guys either this month or at the first week of next month for sure. First or second week of August at the latest. So that felt great. All right, into these articles. So the headline on the first article reads, Chicago Charter School announces 100% of seniors heading off to college. And this is the Urban Prep College in Chicago. Urban Prep announced Tuesday all 159 of its members in its senior class across the Chicago campuses have been accepted into 4 four-year colleges and universities. Urban Prep claims to be the nation's first all-boys public charter high school comprised entirely of Black males. So that is an accomplishment worthy of a Narrative Podcast round of applause. I mean, all the content I share on my platform is worthy of a round of applause, but this really, really hits home. You don't really hear too much about our young men. It's like we got all these institutions for the young ladies, girl power, girls rock, but you don't really hear a whole lot for young black males. All you really hear from us is like, real harsh criticism, stop being a little bitch, man up. That's what we get. We don't get no positive pep talks and all that, but it warms my heart when I hear stories like that about, people reaching out, helping young black males. I know I said I was going to try to get black out of my vocabulary because, I believe in the power of words on my platform. Believe me, I'm trying. Like, old habits die hard. So I know about the significance of the word black and what it symbolizes. And I'm trying to get it out of my system. I really am. But like I said, old habits die hard. So it's going to take me a while. But at least I have the knowledge to know that it's wrong by saying it. And then I'm going to say it again because, that's how they write it. So, second article says, meet the black woman who went from selling luxury handbags out of the trunk of her car to creating a successful business. And the lady's name is Ashley Hodge. Her IG handle is Ashley Hodge or at ashleyhodge.co. She created a luxury line for a very simple purpose. She was simply tired of overpaying for handbags. She wanted to look nice, but couldn't fathom spending a car note on a handbag. And I feel her on that one. So she created a business out of necessity. She's giving you guys luxury bags. So when you go check her IG page, ladies, when you check it out, Birkin ain't got nothing on her. Like, she's burying Birkin, and for the low. So don't support Birkin, support Ashley. Way more stylish than Birkin, in my opinion. I'm not a woman. I don't carry purses. For men that carry purses, it ain't nothing wrong. See how the society is these days? You always got to clarify and back it up so you don't offend nobody. Wow, stuff is crazy these days. But anyway, I think this is my final article. So like I said, this is going to be a super light bite today. If I can find it. All right, some of these that I've said many, many times. The headline is the article. And in this article, the headline is the article. That's like the whole story. Never forget when after sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. Never forget when after a 20-minute helicopter ride over NYC, an autistic artist by the name of Stephen Wiltshire drew the entire New York skyline completely from memory. So that is amazing. It's an audio platform. I wish I could show it to you, but just, plug his name into your browser, Stephen Wiltshire. It'll show that, piece of art that he drew and then all of his work. So I'm going to go off on a little side tangent about autism. So I believe, some people don't have learning disabilities. Some people don't have autism. They, black people that we get diagnosed with certain diseases. They don't actually have them, and what it can be traced back is, something poor diet and slash, in the public school system, putting them labels on people. And once they slap a label on you, then that's what it is. And it follows you all throughout your life until you take control over that and say no, and then disprove the label. Just my opinion. I don't want to veer too far off putting, but it's impressive nevertheless, autistic or otherwise. All right, so I am done with the articles today. And for my new people, I will break down my normal formats that I normally do. I'm gonna have a full broadcast day. So first, I'll start off by extending an invite to Black-owned business owners by telling them to email me at my business email address for this podcast if they would like some free promotion. So I think I'll take the opportunity right now, since it's a super short day. Hit me up at Passion Webmail at poeticpassion.host. In the subject bar, type promo if you would like free promotion for your business, product, or service. In the body of the email, tell me a bit about yourself, your business, your product, and your service. The more detailed your email is to me in the body of the email, the better plug you will get. The more details you supply me with about yourself, your business, product, or service, the better job I can do on my platform promoting your business. And here's the catch, here's the kicker. I'm not charging any money. It's 110% for free. Like, if you want it. I do have a following. My audience is growing. My listeners are growing. So, yeah. I'm expanding. I'm doing projects. I'm becoming a whole thing. So, why not? It's the perfect price. You don't have nothing to lose. Hit me up. Passion Webmail at poeticpassion.host if you would like some free promotion for your business, product, or service. Completely for free. And the only thing I would ask for you, I would like to try to promote Black-owned businesses that do for the neighborhood. So, please include that, some type of charity or philanthropy that you are involved in, because those are the people that I would like to, help promote, people to actually give back to the community. The next thing, at that same email address, I'm currently promoting a contest. And what the contest is just, listener participation / incentive to continue listening to my podcast. I'm giving a bulk supply of your favorite snack simply by participating in the contest, by sharing, with the topic. And the topic is shopping while Black. So what I want you to do is share your most recent shopping while Black experience. And for that, I will reward you with a bulk supply of your favorite snack. To enter that contest, hit me up at Passion Webmail at poeticpassion.host. Since I'm using the same email address, I'm separating them by the subject bar. So make sure in the subject bar you fill out chew on this / shopping while Black. In the body of the email, share your most recent shopping while Black experience. along with your mailing address so I know where to send your snack. And then, tell me what kind of snack you want, and I'll send it to you. A bulk supply of it. So my intention is to, patronize a black-owned vendor to get your snack from. In the event that I cannot find a black-owned vendor to supply your snack, I will most likely be getting it from like Sam's Club or Costco. But yeah, so I'm trying to create a win-win. Like you get something for listening to me. The black-owned business gets some patronage from me. I'm buying a product from them. And so like everybody wins. Ideally, that's how I'm thinking in my mind to go. All right, and then the next section is where I'm actually highlighting black-owned businesses. I highlight 2 to 3 black-owned businesses, sometimes 4 or 5, depending on like what I can find. Black-owned businesses, and the reason why I'm highlighting the black-owned businesses is to again share positive frames of reference about black people and black culture by playing up entrepreneurialism, showing that we are captains of industry, that we don't have to be, that we don't have to just settle on this system. I'm sharing people that sat down and figured it out, just normal people like you and me, with little to no education, but wanted to do something and they got it done. They created a business. So for the few of them that do have an extensive amount of college under their belt, their businesses weren't necessarily aligned with what they went to school to study for. So that's one thing. Another thing I use as a qualifying topic factor. I'm trying to search for the word I want to say, but criteria. Yeah, that was the word. A qualifying criteria for the highlight the black-owned businesses is hiring their own, giving back, doing some type of philanthropy, servicing the community that they're rooted in. So giving back to the community, hiring their own. That's another factor I look for. And then lastly, it just aligns up with my theme, my current theme. And my current theme right now is just the season of summer. So all these black-owned businesses that I'll be highlighting from now to the end of summer, to the end of August, will be black-owned businesses that you would think of like something that you would mentally associate with the season of summertime, if that makes any sense. I think my last broadcast was over the weekend. I did ice cream, and then one of them was lemonade. So, lemonade and ice cream. That's summertime all day. I also did one equestrian horses, bike riding, just, summer things you would think of like, what do people do in the summertime? And then next, for my next section is the spotlight section. In that section, what I do is I spotlight a prominent figure. It's usually an actor, actress, somebody in the entertainment industry, actor, actress, athlete, comedian, producer, writer, author, They give back to the community. They use their platforms to speak on our condition and, do anything within their power to help out. Um, those are the type of people I highlight in that section. And also, I'm going to keep on tooting my own horn until somebody disproves me. I believe I started the wave for the spotlighting. Like nobody on the internet was talking about spotlight section. Now all of a sudden, everybody got a spotlight section. Like literally nobody was doing it. Nobody was trying to give nobody no roses until I did it. It's dope that, that we're acknowledging each other instead of going at each other's throat and dragging each other all up and down social media. So it's a refreshing change. And I'm glad I helped to inspire the refreshing change than to always just hop online and see somebody airing out the dirty laundry. After the highlight section, I do a health and wellness tip. And the reason why I'm doing a health and wellness tip is to promote the healthy, active, fit lifestyle. Because I feel a lot of things we come in under fire in our community is because of, poor diet, lack of exercise, lack of spirituality, lack of mindfulness. And so, and in that section, what I do is just give tips to promote the healthy and active fit lifestyle. It's not about being perfect. It's just about, being better than you was yesterday or before you acquired that knowledge. The tips I usually give is the health benefits of a fruit, vegetable, herb, extract, some type of physical exercise, some type of mental exercise. Because, wellness is a total package. You can't do one without the other. So it's a lifestyle choice. You got to do all of it to reap the maximum benefits. And, not for nothing, you're going to get sick no matter how in shape you are, no matter how many highly defined muscle groups you have, no matter how chiseled and ripped you are, you're still going to get sick. But, how you live and how you take care of yourself will determine how long you stay sick. So somebody living a healthy, active, fit lifestyle, they'll probably only be ill or feel bad for a couple of days, or maybe even a couple hours if they're really walking it like they talk it. Lay down, drink some water, and then be all right. But the more unhealthy things you engage in, the longer it will take for you to bounce back from an airborne pathogen or, anything you come in contact with. All right, so after the health and wellness tip, I will give my commentary on, current events, something happening exclusively in the Black community, or if it's, a world event, I deliver the commentary from the Black perspective, like how does it involve us, where are we at in here, and I unpack it like that. And then lastly, I'll leave you with a gem, a pearl of wisdom, and something just to put on your mind and think about to inspire, critical thinking, a critical thought. And then close out. I try not to exceed 1 hour, but when you get to talking, sometimes it's just inevitable. All righty. that'll do it for that's my format. Now, when I first started, I didn't have a format. I was just talking and talking and talking. I didn't have speaking points. And when you don't have speaking points, it's not a podcast, it's a glorified rant. If you don't have a stopping point already, like etched out, you're ranting, and I don't want to rant. I want my content to resonate with my listeners and just, help you see, the bigger picture. The bigger picture is changing the narrative, hence the title. All right, so I'm going to unpack some commentary about some stuff happening in the world today. So first off, Eric Holder, he was sentenced a while ago, I think a couple of days ago. I'm not going to do a deep dive into it. I think I already spoke my mind on it a few episodes ago. I just refuse to believe that it's just, just what they said it was. I know everything's not a conspiracy theory. I know sometimes it just is what it is. I know sometimes that we have to accept the consequences of our actions as Black people. We can't blame every teeny tiny thing on the white man. We can't blame every teeny tiny thing on the system. But in that case, I just think there's more at play, more factors that aren't being spoken about than what's presented to us. I refuse to believe that it's just, gang culture, street nigga shit. It's too broad. And we know of Nipsey Hussle's legacy. He was anything but, simplistic. His level of understanding and, the circumference of knowledge that he possessed, it's not adding up. It's more to it. It's more to it than what they're telling us. We might not ever know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not somebody that thinks I'm always right. But it just seems to me like an easy answer. It's easy to say, it was just some nigga shit. It was nigga shit. I watched all the interviews. I listened to the people that actually was there. And they said it was that. And, the problem I got with that is like a while ago, I went to school for culinary arts. And my instructor shared with me a euphemism, shared with the entire class, a euphemism about hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise sauce is like the most basic leading sauces or mother sauces in the culinary world. It's just basically like egg yolks and butter. Said get 10 different chefs to make a basic hollandaise sauce. You're going to get 10 different iterations of that sauce. So said all that to say, with eyewitnesses and people on the scene, you're going to get different accounts for what actually happened or what they believe that they saw happen. And it's real easy to trick your eyes into believing something. Like, look at all the games they play with us on social media. Look what they be having us believe we saw and believe we heard. Look at our history here in America. Everything that we've now unearthed as a lie. They tried to say we came from apes when the first upright skeleton was of a black man. So if they lied about that, just imagine everything else they're lying about. So like I said, to cement my point, I don't believe it was just that cut and dry. I don't believe it was just gang politics. I don't believe it was just street code of ethics. Nipsey Hussle was doing a lot for the black community. There was a whole lot of people watching him. And whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you want to call it a conspiracy, like, I don't like when people say conspiracy theory. Like, when you're thinking critically, that's, oh, you a conspiracy theorist. No, just because I don't follow the stat quo doesn't mean I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm just seeing something you don't see. So I refuse to believe it's that cut and dry. I believe it's more to it. Because remember, he's never actually told his side of the story. He went to trial, but he still didn't really say nothing through the proceedings. Court cases, public records, anybody can see the minutes. So I don't know. I refuse to believe it was just that cut and dry and that simple. I mean, they done showed us that these record labels kill these rappers. There's all kind of irrefutable proof. And this goes all the way back into like the 40s and 50s, not just black people. Like, come on now. Who watched that movie La Bamba? All them rock and roll stars in a private jet. None of them own their masters. But I digress. Move on to the next one. So while everybody was talking about Roe v. Wade, we had the Randy Cox story. This is a typical thing police do. It's called the rough ride. So I believe it's just like history is repeating itself. Like we just went through that with somebody. Who was it? Can't remember brother's name. Let me punch it up right quick. Who I believe it was. Because I don't want to say out the wrong name. I'm live. Yeah, we just went through this with Freddie Gray in 15. It's very common. So again, like I said a few episodes ago, we keep missing the bag because we sitting up there worrying about things that don't concern us as a people. When we got nonsense like that happening at our door. See what I'm saying? How many onion layers that is? How divisive that is? How everybody's like coming under fire from whatever side of it, whether you're pro or you're anti for that thing. But meanwhile, we got stuff like that happening in our community. And do you think they care about our issues? Heck no. Not at all. Not in the least. I'm going to share a little story with you. I have a have a rough ride before. So this happened like in the early 90s, right? I was a teenager. Ended up dropping out of school, but on this particular day, I decided just not to go to school. And I was hanging out because the projects was like right adjacent to my house. And I had some relatives that lived in the projects. We hanging out. I just said I wasn't going to go to school that day. I'm hanging out with the family. Now, family was making money selling pastries. Wink, wink, selling pastries. Wink, wink. I'm just hanging out. So, as the day drags on, family ran out of pastry. So they go get some more. They usually buy the cakes already pre-baked. Wink, wink. But this time, they had to make the cake from scratch. Wink, wink. So, hanging out, they go to another apartment because even though they're bakers, they don't know how to make the cake from scratch. So they go to this apartment in the projects to help a guy help them make their cake. So I couldn't go in the apartment. The guy that was doing the baking didn't want me in there because I didn't have any cake to give him. So I had to sit outside. So now while I'm sitting outside, let me do my dramatic effect. The police roll up on me. And this isn't any ordinary police. This is a task force. They're in a white van, just unmarked white, no police, nothing, no siren, unmarked van. In my hood, they call it the scat van. So the scat van got my little teenage self, wasn't doing nothing, but so like they pulled up just like right as family was going in to the apartment to go break the case. Because that apartment just was like a high pastry area. They bake a lot of cakes in that area. So, right when the baker closed his door, the police come get me. They got me handcuffed. And we're going to the juvenile detention center after they find out I'm a juvenile. But on the way there, they're giving me the rough ride. Because first they broke me in trying to play like, I don't know what they was trying to do. I think they was attempting to do like a scared straight type deal. But all they really made me do was resent law enforcement. told me to shut up, took the billy club, poked me in my ribs, and then so now we on the way to the juvenile detention center. And like every other corner, boom, I fall into the corner of the bus or the van. And then then they hit the corner again, boom, I fall into the other side. And then they slam on their brakes, boom, I hit my forehead. So I can easily see how that can be, like how somebody could die while in police custody. I was back in that back seat flopping around like a wet fish. And like how I stopped was, it was like, because this wasn't a paddy wagon, this was like an actual just a van. So what I did is I just extended my feet onto the back of the seat and I braced myself like that with each turn. Now a paddy wagon, you don't get to do that because a paddy wagon is just like, it's just a seat back there. This was like an actual, like a van. This was like some task force type ish. So that was my, rough ride experience. And, these filthy beasts, they're going to keep doing it. But something like I've already said on my podcast, for all those that's been listening, we got exactly one more straw before the last straw is broken. I already predicted several things that's going to happen, and a whole lot of what I predicted on here has come into fruition in some type of facet or another. So I'm not trying to spread gloom and doom or be a negative Nate. I'm just telling, how it is. I'm the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, shoot the ops. So we're going to have another social uprising. Why are we going to have that? Because they want to keep us distracted from something that they're doing, something foul that they're doing, and they're always doing something foul in our government. They use this race stuff as a distraction. Why do they like using us? Because they've already built the platform for us. They've already used, all this propaganda and these negative black stereotypes. They've already weaponized it against us, and it's already proven useful to alter the perception of us to other people. But newsflash, we're human beings. You can't keep treating human beings like that and not expect a backlash. So, having said all that to say, we got exactly one more straw before the camel's back gets broken. If you thought Ferguson was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. And it's brewing, and it's going to happen, and it's going to go down. And this time, we're not going to be tearing up our own communities. And it's going to be very unfortunate because it can be averted like right now by the powers that be. But again, they're choosing not to use it, not to use their power for good. They're using their power for corruption and division. So I think I'm going to put a pin in it here. Join me next week for another full episode of the Narrative Podcast. I got tons more insight So what we should be doing is staying in a state of preparedness. You should still be stockpiling your water. You should still be stockpiling your toiletries, toilet paper, non-perishable food. If at all possible, if you own your own land, you should be like growing your own food right now. You should be, if you're like in an apartment, learning how to, do indoor gardening. Because, it's about to get real spicy and dicey. Like, don't just get relaxed and just because all these restaurants and stuff is open. All this stuff that wasn't readily available to us when it first kicked off. Like that thing is still out there and that thing is still claiming lives. So don't stop just getting relaxed. Don't stop washing your hands. Don't stop sanitizing your shoes and the clothes you wore outside when coming back into the house. Don't stop taking all those precautions because, it's still out there. Newsflash, it's still out there. It's still killing people. It's still making people sick. Whether you believe it's psychosomatic or real or whatever, fact of the matter is people are still getting sick. People are still dying. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for listening. This has been another edition of the Narrative Podcast. Join me this weekend for a full edition of the Narrative Podcast. Download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. You can also support my poetry blog called Halsey's Poetry Corner. I post poems pretty much every single day on there, nearly daily. You can support by going to www.mrhalseysblogs.com and sharing my poems on all your platforms, your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, your whatever, your Tumblr if you still got a Tumblr, Pinterest, all platforms, whatever platform you're on, share one of my poems on one of your platforms. That's how you support that. And like I said, I already told you about my writing project that I had just finished. I'll be sharing a book with you pretty soon. I'm waiting on the physical copy. I'm in the process of converting the copy that I have now into ebook form. And so when that is ready to be made available, I'll be sharing that with you, the link. And I got all kinds of good stuff coming around the corner. So be safe, be good to yourself. Also, be cautious. Challenge everything, challenge all information, and change the narrative. Use these handheld devices that we got to change the narrative, because I'm changing the narrative one episode at a time, and I'm encouraging you to change the narrative one post at a time. Peace, y'all. Narrative Podcast, Halsey Allen, signing off.
Set your face on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit,
is changing the narrative one episode at a time.